Uh, and
Chaos, of course, should
wait.
be mentioned too.
Oh, puppy, why did you do that?
Chaos are last in this group, and they cannot dig their way out. There is, even if they win all the remaining games and everything else, the stars align, they will still not be able to catch up to the 8th place team of the group. So this will be their last chance to. This is their last series,
Yes.
right? This is Chaos's last series.
Yes.
So go out with a bang, do something cool for the fans, and for Secret, it's a good opportunity to maybe try some new strategies that they could maybe use into the main event, learn something
Mhm.
new, build confidence.
Yeah.
If Puppy has like a crazy idea, he was like, I wonder if this is gonna work. This is where you could try it and strike some fear into the hearts of the enemy. And of course, the
He,
other thing
he,
is when
may, he
people
may also
do.
be doing it to keep these troops in line. It's like, come on, guys. Like, let's not just take this as a joke game. Like, we still do
Yeah.
this seriously. Like,
And the other thing is when it comes to the main event, teams are going to be analyzing, right? So
mhm.
if you can make them worry about more things, it's even better.
Yeah.
So he's gonna first pick Chen.
I really don't agree with this, with Team Secret banning techies. I do not agree with this at all, puppy.
Great choice.
But it makes sense when Chaos has last pick.
It does.
It actually does. Actually, technically, it makes more sense when Team Secret has last pick in the second phase, because that's when you're meant to pick him, but that's not the point. Anyway.
As for Chaos, they are going to first pick Mars. That I think they haven't played the whole tournament.
Mhm.
Maybe they did it once. It's a hero I know Kezo has been practicing quite a bit. Don't think he feels way too comfortable on it though, and maybe that's why they haven't run it at all the whole event. But now that it's for show, this is a great show hero. So first of all, I'm really happy because I love this hero, and I feel like we've seen it less than it deserves.
Yeah, there was only one other team that played it
Yi
here, right?
plays it for Keen.
Mm.
Um, he had a great showing in at least one game, maybe two, with the Mars mid, which is one way to play the hero. More than likely will be offlane though in this game.
Wow, that's a hero who hasn't been picked at all this tournament. Like he was actually, I think Skywrath was actually in the list of ignored heroes, like totally, not banned, not picked. I'll just double check though.
There's another thing to say about secrets drafting too, though. In this, there's always this two sides to what you should do in these kind of situations. You're through, your seeding is guaranteed. Should you try new stuff with the risk that enemy teams maybe pick up on it being a possible threat, so you can't surprise them with it? Or should you just stick to 100% your guns, stable stuff that you've played in the tournament, and then nobody really gets new information at all, but you also don't get new like experience in the game with other heroes. And so far, Secret are sticking to something they've played. They've played Alchemist. Puppy's Gen is very well known, so there's no surprises here at all. And I reckon that maybe if they can just get through, we'll see if they change anything up at all later on. But for now, it's very stable
So I have to
from
take it
them.
back. Skywrath was played once by Lanham in the RNG versus NIP game.
Okay. So
So
it's 1-0.
it is 1-0. He actually went 7-1-8 on that Skywrath mage.
100% win rate.
Yeah.
I think what's going on right now in Chaos's room is Misery is like, hey, what do you guys want to play? Because like you might as well have some fun, right? Morale is probably not at an all-time high right now.
Mhm.
They did not do as well as they would have hoped. I don't think they went into the tournament expecting that they were one of the favorites, but you never want to be that first team to drop out, especially with the new prize pool structure of this year. There's a huge difference between getting dead last and eighth in the group.
Yeah.
So a shame, but as it always is with tournaments, there has to be losers for there to be winners, and Chaos just flat out weren't good enough. It has not really been bad luck. It hasn't been health issues.
Mhm.
As at least as far as we're aware, they've all been in playing shape. They've done their best, and they've just been beaten by the other teams. And that's fair enough.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
You've actually seen the two teams who had the changeover, like Liquid and Chaos, still like struggling to find their footing. Chaos a lot more than Team Liquid, but
Yeah.
with the change up with Matumba and we.
Well, Chaos at the same time is also way more of a new team. Liquid exchanged one player, and Chaos has put this team together literally to play in the TI qualifiers and then go from there. I think out of the whole team, Misery did play with Kezu last year, and he has played with Milan for a little while. But apart from that, both the VT Faded and Matumba Man are new to playing with Misery in this team, and Kezu hadn't played with Misery since that last year, so it's very fresh. as a roster.
I do remember hearing the Chaos Management talking though about like Faded, how it was like, well, they were a little uncertain about it, but then he came in and everything just seemed to click, and and he's got a lot of talents as a player. It's just a shame they won't be able to showcase it much more. Finishing up our second ban phase, no Timber, no Slark. We've still got a lot of fun, quirky heroes. Like if you're going for heroes that people just feel like they want to play, there's Brood, there's Meepo. Like I don't know what other heroes we've actually got for like Matumba, unless he's actually playing the Skywrath mid. That was actually the old Misery pickup for with DC Grand Final, the mid Skywrath mage. Don't think it'll work that well against the Alchemist, but
no,
it was that that fun nuking kind of.
I think Misery's
play.
playing Skywrath. I think he wants to play Sky, so he picked it now. And Dark Willow is more than likely for Milan, position 4. If Team Secret want to continue in the same vein as they have so far with the Chen Alchemist, you can pick some heroes that are strong early on, so you can protect Alchemist's jungle and he can get really farmed. Pretty straightforward picks right now would maybe be Leshrac, who's still in the pool, that we saw Secret play yesterday. Didn't go too well in that game overall, but that's a possibility. You could always look to counterpick. Tiny is a great choice. There's 2 enemy heroes that are really low base HP. Skywrath and Willow can get blown up by this Tiny. And he's a hero that's strong early on, so really fits the bill. And that is Matumba Men's hero, I think. Mid Bristleback.
Yep. Oh god. Viper pickup from Team Secret, instantly there for the break.
For mid 1. It's really good. It breaks Mars's Bulwark as well. What a Viper game, actually. It's really good here. They took almost no time to identify that this would be a great pick for the game.
Maybe Puppy's actually thinking that is a mid-Sky.
No, I think he thinks it's a mid-Bristleback. Because I think Chaos would have liked to put the Bristleback against Alchemist, but now that it's a Viper mid, he really doesn't want to go there, nor does Mars. So at this point, you kind of have to, okay, our last pick needs to be able to lane against Viper, then we put Mars off lane and Bristle safe lane. I think that's what you got to do, or, well, side lanes. And ideally, you get the Bristle against Alk if he's in a side lane, because if you put Mars there, Alchemist is going to be really happy and probably just farming. So.
And do you really feel like Dark Willow had to put in such an effort just to stay a little bit off the ground? Like, her wings are going off just to remain that small inch above the ground, while Skywrath's just like, well, I levitate naturally.
Well, when you think about it, it's kind of pretty impressive that you can flap your wings this much on both Viper and her and keep the exact same height non-stop. It's got to be pretty challenging. I don't know. I'm not a bird.
Maybe that's a new element to add into Dota, is just like flight height.
Wait, actually, there was a post that I saw, I think a week ago or something, that the physics between, like, when you look at how Viper flaps its wings, how the back moves relative to the wings flapping, apparently with Wyvern it's not anatomically correct, but it is with every other flying hero in the game. Wyvern's back, the way it moves, you see, whenever the wings of Viper flap down, his back goes up, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Because that's logical, right? When you flap the wings down, the back has to extend. But on Wyvern, it doesn't. On Wyvern, it's the other way around.
What, he's just like...
So somebody noticed that, and I don't know. I mean, I don't even know how you noticed that, but...
I suppose after you watch this game for so long, like, since actually literally bringing it up on the screen. Oh, yeah, he it's like he's thrusting his... okay.
The back follows down. It doesn't extend upward. You could show it if you wanted to.
Okay.
This is
let's just that's my fantasy, Mr. Wyvern. Just so we can get this out of the way right now.
So compare this. Now you need to pull up Viper.
Now we're gonna pull up Viper. Okay.
It's fine. I'll tell you when there's bans.
Ah.
That's Venno. See, so in comparison, when Viper's wings flap down, yeah, it's maybe better to look at it a bit from the front. Like the rest of the body kind of extends upwards, or like thrusts upwards, or whatever you want to call it. And Wyvern doesn't really work that way.
All right, let's get back to the draft.
Well, that's nothing new. We gotta. There we go. OD banned. OD banned out by Secret. Yeah. So they're again. They need to. It's clear Chaos need to pick a mid hero that can lane against Viper. And what Secret could be worried about in that sense would be Broodmother. But since they have Alchemist, if Chaos pick Brood, they will just put the Alchemist mid, and he will have a great time free farming. And then problem solved.
Smart
I
ban
think
as
they're
well
not too
with
worried
the
about it.
Yapsor Invoker. Bristleback with no mana.
Yeah.
It's
And
it
Mars.
seems way too easy for this this early cold snapping, Quas Wexing, like 4-position Invoker just to get away with even being picked.
Yeah. It would have been a great pick this game. EMP is awesome against these strength heroes that you are really spell reliant. And it's also not half bad against a hero like Willow, who can still get caught. Oh, there's the Leshrac. Okay. So that's probably
Alright,
a
is
Zai...
a Yapsor Tiny?
Yeah, I think Yapsor
And
Tiny and Zai Leshrac.
Yeah.
Very possibly, at least.
unless Team Secret are doing something a little funky. But it's also that big strength of Team Secret, right? Like you have Yapsor and Zai who are able to have these very interchangeable roles in the 3 position. One of the most picked heroes of the tournament, Matumberman's Gyrocopter, and it will be Misery Skyrath. You are correct, Sind.
Oh, his Skyrath looks cool.
What is that stick? It's like a half-broken.
I mean, that depends on your perspective. It doesn't really look broken. It looks like by design that it's a half.
It's intentional.
Yeah. But does this feel broken to you? I don't think it feels broken. It's just.
It feels like it's being cracked like a cookie.
I get what you're. I totally understand. I just feel like it looks like. That's not what things look like when they break. It looks really polished. Maybe it was originally a half sun, and then he just had it like sharpened.
Yeah, it's like it's an
it
old
makes sense.
antique. He's like, I'm gonna bring this back. this was an old relic of the Eerie.
And then on the other side of the board, we have Chen with literally a creature that came out of the sewers that he's riding on. So
It looks like something from StarCraft. Like,
yeah,
like the little
it
like
actually
a little
does.
Zerg style face.
it really is a Zerg coloring. That is true.
with the horns that come back. Looks like the Hydralisks.
Yeah.
With the way the heads go.
And little known fact, they do actually originate from the sewers. So there you go.
Really?
Say something, Toby.
A Hydralisk comes from the sewers.
No, it doesn't.
I'm about to say that wouldn't make any sense at all. I remember my StarCraft lore, and like that's not. I
Then
don't.
why are you questioning yourself when I make a bad joke?
Because I'm always questioning myself when you try and give me a fact. Tiny's face just looks too cute in Rock.
I like this set. I like this prestige item from this year. It's cool.
Oh.
Okay, so
Into the game we go.
to quickly reiterate, if you've just joined the stream to watch this game, as far as standings goes, this game has no impact. Secret are guaranteed second place, and Chaos are guaranteed ninth. So Secret have 2 ways of doing this. They can use it for practicing new strategies or for building confidence in something they've already shown and getting that little bit of extra experience under their belts with comfort strategies. And this so far is nothing out of the ordinary. So I think they're kind of holding their cards close to themselves here and not showing too much extra, which could have still been an interesting choice to, try a crazy idea that you don't really feel like you're going to use. And then if it turns out, man, it's actually really good, maybe other teams are going to be worried about it and start banning your heroes that you didn't even want to play anyway. But they're not going to do that. For example, they could have picked a Techies this game.
Yeah.
Try to get in the hands of the
But
opponent. But maybe they don't want it banned.
Yeah, maybe also they don't want to have to play against it, because if they play against it, they show how to counter the Techies.
That's also possible, yeah.
At least Yapsor, as well as Faded, is saying, being very okay. That's more than a high five, Yapsor. That's a punch to the face. Well, toss him around, but that means Yapsor's already used his ability. Still got 10 seconds till the rune's gonna spawn up. 4 heroes from Chaos on the bottom lane, and they definitely want to see if they can get a pick off over on Yapsor. Put down the Bramble, and Tiny, Yapsor tries to toss him away, walk through the trees, get himself out of this one. TP scroll's unavailable for a couple of seconds. And he's trying to juke it, but Matumber and Millen perfectly surrounded. Yapsor will be the first blood. And Chaos are already switching their lanes up. Gyrocopter goes towards the mid, and Millen's heading up towards the top. It's not really switching, making it the way it was intended.
Yeah. He spent so much time chasing for that kill that he has to TP mid and will not get a creep block, but mid one didn't block either, so still ends up around the center of the lane. Curious to see how this lane goes. With Matsu having first blood, this might be Gyro favored. I wouldn't have said that on paper if the lane just started out evenly, that Gyro was going to have a great time here, but he looks fine. At least with the first blood, it's going to look a lot easier.
Yeah. It's the issues that come later with the break. Like, that's the bigger problems. But man, look at this from Gyro. Just get up in the face of mid one. Doesn't want to come too far underneath the tower, but hits level 2, so as the rocket barrage. Mid one, just hiding inside of his own toxin.
And he immediately skilled up the corrosive skin when he got level 2 for that extra tankiness. Didn't fly out a salve though, so he is a bit exposed. Well, okay, Gyro doesn't have one either. Alright, faded.
Faded actually died on the bottom lane.
He got tossed into tower.
Well, he died right here. Like, that's a little death spot right there. So not even that close, but obviously with a combination of Zai and YapzOr together, they keep going over towards Misery. We're having some troubles for Millen up on the top lane too. Puppey harassing him out with a Divine Favor. This lane just has so much sustain. Both mid one as well as Matumba living life on the edge, but Matumba's now going to salve up. I think Courier is bringing out, the salve for mid one's now on the way. Now Millen's having a really hard time standing in this lane.
Puppey took the wrong creep, I think.
Oh, mid one dead under tower. Gyro up to there. He'll lose his life for this too. That salve really needed to come out a little sooner than it did. And still, YapzOr, Avalanche. It's going to clip over on Millen. He knew exactly what was coming because Puppey's creep right in front of Millen, blocking him up. So YapzOr gets the toss up. Millen still has a Fairy Fire available. But one more punch from Puppey's creep will end up getting the kill.
Wait, does this creep have any benefit over the other creep? No.
Apart from the fact that it existed, I don't think so.
It doesn't have better move speed. I mean, yes, it has the resistance aura, of course, which he's definitely not taking it for, so it must have been a mistake.
Yep.
I was wondering it had higher move speed or something, but no.
Nisha, trouble.
Nice spear.
Underneath the tower. Push back into the small patch of trees just off to the east of it.
Yeah, good spear from Kezu, and then they combine it with the brambles. This lane together is very strong at certain points. Level 3 is for both heroes. They have a lot of burst damage, and this will secure at least the level 2 for Millen. And later in the game, there's the classic combination of Arena into the Terrorize. People keep running against the wall.
That attack from Zai with the Split Earth was a little bit off target, but he knew YapzOr was going to stand behind him and protect. So everything can settle down for the moment. Matumba's having a really good mid lane. 17-10 against the 18-1. It's just the heavy amount of denies.
Yep. His damage advantage in the start, especially because of First Blood. So he can easily contest CS. Chen's gonna get the Mana Burn creep. That's very annoying.
It's the way Puppey plays it, right?
Yep.
This is a guy who takes Mana Burn creeps, takes Harpies, and then just wins the lanes.
It's a 20-second cooldown that removes 100 mana, or 18-second cooldown rather.
That's some easy efficiency. Just standing on top of the room, Matumba using all 3 bottle charges which just flew in. And then also gets the Arcane Rune. She makes for a really good lane for him. Mid 1 backed off just to farm inside the jungle. That's why there was no contest for it. YapzOr, he's not going to do a toss back to Zai. That's definitely what he keeps on threatening. Probably how they got that kill on bottom lane before. It's like you can come close, but then Zai's going to turn the 2 points Edict on.
Yep. The level 2 Edict is a big difference maker now.
There's a lot of posturing for the 5-minute bounty runes. Puppey and Nisha going up against Kezu, but Tubberman's moved over with the homing missile. Puppey staying for the bounty rune. But he'll end up losing his life for that.
Still good though, he has Alchemist in his team.
So the money makes it worth it.
A lot of extra gold for Nisha.
Nisha does have the only 1 point up in Greevil's Green. Obviously need a little bit more lane presence with the 2 points Acid Spray. And his net worth is not equal. In fact, it's a little bit behind that of Matumberman for the moment. Shows how well that lane's going for Digital Chaos in mid.
Digital Chaos.
Digital Chaos. Sorry, the other Chaos.
Well, it kind of is the same Chaos, right? But then again, it isn't.
Yeah, it really is. Looks the same, but not quite the same. Called out in mid. YapzOr able to get the toss back. Matumba can play inside of his own call down, but underneath the towers is too much damage to survive.
That's a really big kill. That's another kill.
That's Skyraz. Zai.
That's smaller.
Wait, he got him solo.
He ran down Misery at the shrine. Leshrac with boots is really fast. Skywrath is a fast hero as well, but doesn't have the boots yet. So, curse of playing position 5. Sometimes you just have nothing. Misery went for the quick crown, and he wants another crown. He's not going to get boots early, which is pretty common for Skywrath mages to bypass boots for a bit because your move speed's so good. Then you can focus on amping up your spells instead, getting an Atos, getting no talismans, whatever you like. And he's going to take mid for now while the Gyro is making a rotation to top out of smoke.
Yeah, he'll be able to wrap around the side of Puppey. Niche has already been forced away thanks to the Bramble. Puppey cutting through the trees, but Matumba with the Rocket Barrage and the homing missile. He'll kill Puppey underneath the tower. Even with the extra heals, it still won't be enough. And Nisha wants a battle underneath his own Acid Spray. TP support's coming in, but it's coming in very late from Zai. Nisha's already gone down. Matumba with the double kill. Zai gets the lightning slow onto Kezu. The attacks from the tower is not going to be enough as Zai have to cut through the tree lines, but the Cursed Crown from Millen cancelling the split Earth. There's still 3 heroes from Chaos up on top. In fact, it's about to become 4 with Misery rotating in. Zai's too far forward. Puppey's very TP'd up here. But Chaos have the numbers. And Nisha's gone jungle. Which means Chaos can now take this tier 1 tower. And what's your trade-off? YapzOr on bottom lane having a battle with Faded. There's 4 Quill Spray stacks on him, and YapzOr slowed down. I think YapzOr knows he's dead. He needs to get a quick toss onto Faded, throw him back underneath the tier 1 tower. So Faded, the damage output from the tower, no, 1 charges will keep him alive.
That was close, though. Man, if YapzOr gets that solo, that would have been super huge for his game. Yeah, so far so good for Chaos.
Hey, you know that combination we're talking about? is Harpy and
oh, nice.
And Sada.
He has both of them.
Yeah,
Lovely.
he does.
Yeah. It's 8 minutes in, though, so the Harpy's already losing a lot of its power. It's still good, though.
And not that I'm concerned, Faded. But he burns the Clarity, and then he triggers the Soul Ring. Loses majority of his life. Puppey up a little bit too far once again. Skewered up into the tree thanks to the spear with the Bramble down too. YapzOr trying to come in to help out his captain. And with that help, Puppey's creeps are able to ensure the kill on Misery. So there is a rebuttal. But there's still a 1-for-1 trade-off up on top.
Oh, bottom.
And Zai's in trouble. Homing Missile's going to chase him. He does have TP available, and once the Homing Missile connects, there's nothing else to actually cancel the TP out apart from a heavy amount of damage. And that'll do it.
Has Master played Gyro all tournament?
I think he's kind of had 1 game on Gyro.
He plays a good Gyro. I just don't remember seeing him play it this in the drafts that I saw, but maybe I just saw the wrong ones.
We haven't got to watch a lot of Chaos. In fact, I think this is our first game of
It is our first game
of Chaos that we get to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the money. Nisha doesn't want that smoke. Nisha wants that farm.
He'll get it.
He's just having to share his experience. Zai and YapzOr now moving up to the top lane. Kezu is the man who's still up here. And they really are just the gank squad. Smokers broke, so they knew... Okay, yeah, they see Kezu now. And that is one very, very dead Mars. Tossed up, brought down. And Zai split Earth is not even able to connect. Puppey's already got the kill.
I made it easier for the corpse to fall through the ground because he split the Earth for it.
Ooh.
Oh, return kill though.
Yeah, Matumba and Misery moving into the jungle. Catching out the Viper who was trying to find the farm. They probably would have liked Nisha, but it was a good movement before the 10-minute rune. But now Millen working with Misery, trying to battle for it, but YapzOr's taking the bounty rune once again. He'll lose his life. The Cursed Crown stunned him up, which just lets Misery stand there and seal and deliver. Actually, no, it won't. You've got the Hand of God coming in. That's already level 6, so YapzOr playing out the tree line. Millen will still go down. YapzOr trying to play that Fog of War. Nisha's coming up. The Observer Ward is giving them the information around the corner. That's why you can see him. Navy wow with the Arena of Blood too. Zai caught down inside the river. YapzOr somehow still alive until the final orb is able to connect.
But Secret successfully defend their jungle, and they keep farming up this Alchemist, who is not very far ahead relatively in this game compared to what you usually see on Alchemist, so it's still good news for Chaos in this game. But you got to try to keep up the pressure. Can you get some towers? Can you limit Alchemist's farming space? Because yes, your laning phase went well, But now comes the part where Alchemist starts farming up really rapidly. And if you can't find a way of contesting this guy, your lineup kind of struggles with dealing with Alchemist later. You don't have that high single target physical burst. You have some AoE burst, I suppose, from Gyro and Skywrath and Mars, but singling out and killing an Alchemist with Chen heal or behind him will be tough. Misery's dead again, bottom.
Looks like Zai will join him. Nope, down to 15 HP, but 15's enough to survive.
It's more than 0.
It is. And less than 4. This one Observer Ward. Like, I don't think Team Secret really realized it. They dropped the sentry, and then all they found was a sentry. Now Nisha, Millen just attacks through the rear as, well, he pulls out of the Terrorize. TP comes over from mid 1 as Puppey wants his own fight, but there's also buying space for Faded to add pressure to the tier 2 tower on top lane. Mid 1 skewered away from Mars, so he can't finish the job even with the ATOS Viper Strike control. Hard to keep attacking when you just get pushed away. Bottom lane, Mataman. Zion YapzOr, once again, the combination goes to work.
And Puppey is standing in a very strong position here. He has 3 creeps, he's standing next to the Shrine and a Viper.
I think he's
Just
working out though,
sure
he's being watched though. Like with the way that Chaos is moving.
Yeah, he's probably realizing that there is a ward, but the primary goal of what he's doing here is just to, you know, control the entrance of the jungle. Don't let the enemy team in. Chaos are going to try to find a back entrance.
Yeah, they keep wrapping around the mid. Just Alchemist Illusions dragging the wave out, and Nisha has just moved to the Trinity camp on bottom. Oh, Puppey. Arena of Blood will come up. Puppey's going to stay in the middle, but he's already been pushed back out. There's your break from mid 1. Puppey, he's got the mech already available. Zai's rotated in as well with the Terrorize. Puppey just has to walk away. Mid 1's trying to do the body block. They've already killed off Mars, and underneath the break, it doesn't really feel like Faded can get that kill on Puppey. In fact, he's got to move back away. Misery throws down the ulti, but Zai just moves away from it. And with the extra help coming in from YapzOr, there's 2 cores down from Chaos. The Rod of Atos back up again. With the call down, maybe Matoma could just sway Team Secret from killing off his support, but it's not enough. 3 heroes down from Chaos. Team Secret defending this jungle and just trying to create more and more space for Nisha, who was not there.
Puppey has so much sustain. He had ulti and mech ready. And I think he had 2... Did he have 3 levels in Divine Favor there? Not sure. But the healing amp, they put so much into him and they still didn't kill him. And even if they do, that's part of the strength of Chen in this kind of position on the map. I mean, yeah, you're going to kill him. He still has his creeps even when he dies. And his entire team just get a free fight afterwards. It's an 1100 HP hero with a lot of armor at this point because of the mech. It's not the easiest kill ever.
It's crazy how he's able to get these items so fast up as well. I suppose the it's because YapzOr, who's right underneath the tier 1 tower in mid lane looking for his own fight with the avalanche toss. He almost kills off Matumba, but Kezu, he's going to lock him in position inside the trees. Mid 1 gets a rebuttal onto Millen.
I won't lie.
And Chaos are definitely looking for fight after fight after fight. Meanwhile, Puppey has now got a 4-strong army. Double Satyrs, 1 Harpy, 1 Centaur.
Yep. Saw his Centaur last fight being super useful. When you have a strong slow, such as the Viper Strike, it's very easy to land that stomp. And they basically controlled the Bristleback for really long in the last fight between the 2 of them. Can even ATOS into the Centaur stomp. I'm pretty sure Puppey would like to get more than 1 cent. I think he wants the Harpy to get replaced by a Centaur or a Wolf, perhaps, but for now he's not grabbing that Wolf. They're heading down for the rune, but they will be late.
Avalanche doesn't create enough space. Faded's already got it, but that's why YapzOr's waiting. Oops, that's not what he wanted.
Go back to where you came from, Centaur. Go back to
Yeah, he did have that alpha to choose as well. Nisha. Problem when the battle comes from Team Secret up on the north. Chaos realizes it's time to invade. But it's all towards the mid. Viper Strike out with the ATOS. Bristleback just being locked in position. Broken down by all of Team Secret. They've already taken the tier 1 tower in mid as well as top and bottom. So if Team Secret want a bigger objective, they have to just run straight down mid lane. Radiance is already up on Nisha. 15 minutes in, and you've actually got an Alchemist not inside the jungle willing to push a tier 2 tower. Shows
Yeah.
you the tempo of the game that Secret want to play.
With Chen's mech and Hand of God, this coming team fight for Chaos seems really, really difficult. You have to try to find a way of... Yeah, I don't even know who you're supposed to go on. They're all kind of tanky, and then with all of this healing in the extra regen, it's not easy target selection. They will not go high ground for now, but Secret will probably just go and take the top tower. You can see Kezu's drawing the line he wants to try and defend, has his Blink Dagger up, and has to choose his target really wisely. Maybe a Mars Burst onto Alchemist is possible. They could Blink Arena, spear him onto the arena. Then when the spear is about to end, they can A-toss with Misery, and they just blow him up with all of their stuff. He should be killable for now.
Well, here's your Yule Scepter from Zai. Starting over on Faded. Misery wants to try and help out. And now we go into the Arena of Blood with the Terrorizer. All going to be forced Team Secret to run into the walls. Not where they want to be, but the sustain from Chen is ridiculously good. Millen can't do anything inside the trees. Chaos have 3 players down. And Team Secret would like to chase for more. They'll push through the tier 2 town for the moment. Kezu just trying to force Zai back. That was probably the best ulti that Mars could have asked for with a combination with Dark Willow, but Team Secret, they just Hand of God and mech up, you can't fight that.
Were they able to combine all of their spells? It looked a bit like the Skywrath ulti hit a little bit, but yeah,
Wait,
we're gonna see a replay here. So they open up on the Bristleback. There's the 3-man Mars ulti. He spears him away, so out of the Skywrath ulti that's hitting nothing, and Gyro is not there. Gyro is behind the tier 2 tower. And this is what's missing. If Gyro's here for this combination, they get all these kills. But there's no cooldown. Now the cooldown comes down and it's just too late. And now back to live.
Yeah, that's actually a really nice play. So mid one started over on the Gyrocopter until YapzOr, oh come on. Chaos are just getting themselves further ahead. Millen can't battle against Zai. The Edict's going to end up killing him off. Faded. Maybe he can get a little bit of a rebuttal as Zai running right in front of the tower here with Matubberman. We'll try and stick with the kills that Chaos is able to achieve as Zai will fall. But there's 2 big calls from Team Secret going down that's going to delay their next push. And the trade-off is the 2 supports from Chaos. A very willing trade, but Nisha is free farming in the meantime.
Yep.
Obviously, he's a huge danger zone. But what else can you do? You can kill him. Matumba, you can start with a homing missile. Misery actually got Rod of Atos up. Nisha, okay, never mind. Just walks away from it with the avalanche. Concoction turnaround. Matumberman feels he's in way too deep, and he is. YapzOr gets the last swing with a tree. And Millen has to bramble. YapzOr easily navigates it. The Curse Crown will still follow up with a stun. And Chaos is backing up.
Chemical Rage is so good against Skywrath if you're not silenced. Being able to break the Atos and just run away from the combo there. And Millen will...
He's trying to Shadow Realm himself away to safety. But the Concoction's done inside the Acid Spray. Millen, he'll get up the hill, but he'll tick out to the Radiance Burn. While in mid, Chaos tried to go on to mid 1. But Zai's here and Misery trapped once again inside the trees. At least Chaos are able to voice line and spam some happy things. Hey, Faded may even be able to take out that top tier 2 tower if he can stick around long enough. He's a Bristleback that can pump out a hell of a lot of damage, but he's also a Bristleback living in fear of where Team Secret is. Now, looks like Secret are now going to go in for their Roshan. Lotus Orb as well as Atos over on mid 1.
Yep, they're just buying items that will keep Nisha safe, I think, and they're going to let him hit the high ground. They get the armor on Viper from the Lotus. He can put it on Nisha to counter out Brambles, counter out Skywrath Silence, and with an Aegis as well. I think Secret are pretty much about ready to try for a high ground attempt soon, but
Fada's coming
see
over.
if Chaos can do anything about it.
Because YapzOr as well as Zai went north, they're not perfectly in position. The Rod of Atos is over on Faded. But with the Terrorize up, Bramble comes down, Viper will get stunned up, Roshan still licking his wounds, but Faded, he's got more of them, he's bleeding from all sides, and Misery tossed in by YapzOr right in the middle, and it may not matter if Kezu is able to blink in and get this Arena of Blood. There's just Chaos blood absolutely everywhere, and yeah, Kezu, he did actually snatch the Aegis. Dire still killed Roshan, and it looks like Dire will still kill the rest of Chaos as Kezu. He's the last player standing from Chaos, and they're all down without buybacks available. But we're 20 minutes into this game, and Team Secret have a firm grasp on it. But Chaos, they're having fun, they're fighting until the end.
Yeah,
It may not be that much fun, but they're still trying to.
the spell combination again there just doesn't... The spells just aren't landing together. The combination isn't clean enough, and at this point, even if it is, it's not really enough anymore, because Secret have so much sustain.
Oh, look at the pushback. Viper. Atos for Atos. and and no one even attacked properly. Mid one. Oh, they're going to try and go for this. Team Secret's a little bit further back. Maybe they have enough. Skywrath ulti still not enough to bring down mid one. But Bristleback turns the back out. He needs to get out of the strike, but it's just everywhere. The Nether Toxin, he just can't walk away from it. 2 heroes down into the back lines. Maybe some trouble for Zai as Matubberman and Kezu work on it, but no, there is no trouble. Puppey is there to hold his hand and get him out, and GG is called. 21 minutes in. Team Secret, 33 kills with the death of Kezu at the end. Secures them game number 1. It is a dead rubber that we're playing right now. Chaos and Secret, but man, Secret still looking very, very good, showing why Chen was one of the heroes that a lot of people were looking at to be a big hero.
Yeah.
Like, his sustain just made it impossible for Chaos to do anything.
Yeah, the laning stage went well overall. I think Chaos showed some decent kills early on with their movements, but they weren't really leading to anything very meaningful. Towers didn't fall, Alchemist still ended up getting good farm, and even though Bristleback actually had a really good lane, he just gets hard countered by Viper. And I think perhaps you have to rethink a little bit how you itemize this Bristle in this situation. I'm not very experienced in the matchup, but he went for like a Vanguard and, you know, the standard Bristle items. He went Vanguard and wanted to go Solar, but if you get caught by Atos into the Nether Toxin, you just get blown up.
Yeah.
Tiny could almost solo him, I think, in the Nether Toxin. So
Yeah. As Team Secret's normal play, like Zai and Yabsor moving around the map with a stun Age, killing Age, huge amounts of burst damage from them. Yeah, a lot of space made from Team Secret. And
easy game for them. 21 minutes. That was fast.
Yeah, let's see how game 2 goes. We'll have a short break and we'll be back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this thrilling series, Team Secret versus Chaos Esports Club for the International 2019 Group Stage last day. Tinderin. This game means nothing.
It doesn't mean anything for the score, Toby, but it's good entertainment.
It's, yes, that's what
And
we're
people
looking for.
want to see their favorite team kick some ass.
Yes.
If your favorite team is Chaos, it's less likely you will see what you want to see. If your team's Secret, there's a pretty good chance you'll see what you want to see. Just statistically,
go
based
to
on
draft.
what we've seen so far in the game.
Let's go to the draft.
Let's go to the draft.
Because there's interesting things that are happening inside the draft. A lot of things getting through. A lot of things being banned out.
Oh, Techies didn't get banned this time.
Takais! Does get through the pool. Chen's taken out. No Alchemist, no Lesh, no Ench. So none of that kind of shenanigans. We're starting with a CM.
Let's get the Techies. Let's
Wait,
get
no,
it.
wait, did those words did not pass your lips, Sind?
No, because I want them to pick it now so that it gets banned the rest of the event. Or out of it. We're done with
The
it.
funny thing is, though, they played as a 5. And, like, he functions better as a 4. Like, Techies becomes greedy by nature, so I'd always thought it was a perfect thing for Yapsor, but it's Puppy who actually plays the Techies for Secret. Which is the downside. But anyway,
They're
let's...
not going to pick it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see, huh? We'll see. Chaos, they have the Crystal Maiden. If we have a Techies, I'll reveal all my pub secrets to help everyone who wants to play Techies in pubs.
They don't want them.
They do want them.
Oh.
You don't want it. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, but Puppy's taking his time. He's like, wait, what? They picked a Crystal Maiden? What am I going to do now in my draft? Let me burn my extra time.
So many options, Puppy. What do you want?
Oh, we get
Four
Invoker
position Invoker, probably.
and a Legion.
Good hero against Maiden in lane. Can purge off Frostbite. Can purge off the Nova Slow with press the attack. And when you play a 4 Invoker, you want to play with a strong laner who can hold their own, because your hero is not that strong in the beginning. So somebody that has good like base stats or really high damage, something along these lines. So I think the logic is pretty sound here. And of course, with Team Secret, you never know. The tide could also go mid.
And so,
Tide Hunter.
isn't that what we always feared, like with Team Secret throughout the entire DPC? Is like, oh, these are the first phase pickups, and they can just go anywhere. Oh, crap. Like, I can't predict the draft. They're always flexible. I remember, it's just when you were boot camping, this was like back when I was in Berlin, you were boot camping there. I was like, so what are you doing? And let's look at your board. I think it was like when you were playing with, actually, who the hell do you even have in your team? But you boot camped in our office space.
Mouse Sports?
Yeah, it was probably
2013?
Yeah, it was like when Black was playing in your
Yeah.
team. And it's
That
like
was
on your
2015.
board, all you had was like a list of heroes that you're going to get right. And that was it. Like, we're going to get some depth in the lineup. The Team Secret's got so much depth throughout their lineup. And they just keep finding new stuff. Like, Zai just seems to be like one of the most talented 3 positions for the different types of 3 position that you can actually play. Mid one's just a talented mid anyway, and Nisha just is this young talent that can make any kind of like safe laner work. And Puppy's just the rock that holds everything together. And Yabsor's the Secura.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty
team,
much.
team Secret in a nutshell. No Brood Mother.
Not really sure why they banned that here.
Yeah.
They already have Tide who can stand against Brood and benefit from a decent mid lane. It's not that bad.
You know what it is? Like if they ban the Juggernaut next, I'm just saying right now it's because it's a Techie second phase pick in the 4th spot. Because Spiderlings actually destroy Techie's mind so easy.
That's true. Brood is really good against Techies.
Yeah. Like there's a couple of choices you can run against him. Lifesteal is great, Juggernaut is great, Brood is great. You don't care about Lone Drawer because you actually just like you can kill the bear, so that's fine.
Yeah, Secret banned it out because they're looking at, okay, what can Matsu put in mid here that's going to counter what we want to play? This could be a hint that it's a mid invoker. This is a really bad matchup for a mid invoker. The Lone Druid should destroy you. But yeah, beyond that, It's a bit difficult to read into these bans in this case because, first of all, like we talked about, Chaos is knocked out, so they're doing a lot of funky stuff. Seeker are guaranteed second, so they're in the last game they played something very stable. In this one, it seemed to be trying a bit more of a different approach. But these bans look very. I feel like there's going to be a revelation once we see some picks, but I don't know exactly what it is they're banning for, with this Brood and Bristleback.
Yes!
There it is.
Yes! I can't tell you how long it's. The last game of Techies I got to cast was the one that we cast. ESL 1 Frankfurt with Kuro. Oh, crap. Oh, shit.
Well, Techies has changed since then. The last Techies game we cast was actually the one that had Suicide Squad attack, where they snowballed him in with Tusk.
Yeah,
and
he had to have a delivery system. He's got his own delivery system now.
That is 4 years ago, I think.
It was a long time ago.
3 or 4 years ago that we had that Techies game. So yeah, I haven't cast a game of this hero in forever.
Mm-hmm.
Good riddance.
To bad rubbish. I mean, what?
But the new Techies is probably so. Just to preface this, the reason I keep saying when people ask me about like when I talk about what the worst game I ever had to cast was the last Techies game I cast, and it was because as an analyst when you're commentating on the game, you're looking for like options. You're talking about what can the teams do, what's the next move, what's the good thing that these guys do. And basically, the game that Secret had at that ESL Frankfurt, they had a Techies, they got ahead, they mined the map, and the enemy team were just like, you gotta buy a gem, you gotta go, and then you'll see if you can get in or not. And that was kind of the depth that there was to talk about for like 10 minutes, because the map was just super cornered. So it was very. I kind of got claustrophobic together with the losing team, that there was just not enough space on the map to really work with. But now Techies is different from back then. The hero is more counterable, I would say, in those like types of games. And it's also more interesting. The blast off is more fun, and the mines make a beeping sound. Back then, the landmines could be stacked and did not make the sound.
Yeah.
So
now that only happens with a 25 talent if you do even go down that road. But also to keep in mind too is the map changes. The map changes, especially on Dire side, it made him stronger. On Radiant, it's a little less stronger for the southern jungle, but it makes it impossible to smoke gank. But this Tinker pickup is like the worst. Like this isn't Underlords. You don't want to like goblin mech this thing together. Like Tinker actually blinks into stasis traps and dies instantly, because you make a triangle mindset and plant it inside the trees. This is when it's really good as a Techies to get Nether Lens, because you can actually plant deeper into the trees without having to break them. And it causes a lot of problems for the Tinker.
If it is Puppey playing the Techies, I don't know if he's going to get that amount of gold though.
Yeah,
that's how he plays.
He probably won't. But
yeah,
it's still good too, because you get blast off range with Aether Lens, so it's a really like long distance initiation.
Yep, true. Not a Techies expert myself exactly, Toby, so whatever you say, buddy.
Hey, you can go with the rest of it.
Now, I can tell you what it's like to both play with and against it, because it's had its phases in high-level pub matchmaking where people would play it. There's a couple of notorious Techies players that are just super annoying to have in your game, but then you just have to deal with it, whether they're on the same team as you or not. So I think the main thing I can contribute to this hero is not really the perfect way of playing it, but rather how you approach the game when you're playing against it or playing with it, because it has some very clear limitations. That's why the hero is not being picked very much in the last couple of years.
Yeah. It was the debate we were having just the other day. It's like Techies makes you play a different style of Dota. Yeah. This is what annoys people. It's the fact you either have to play slower, you have to play zone control, or he just turns it into a team fighter. And then things get really interesting, as long as Techies is always looking to jump. Slark is the final pickup, so there's Nisha's final hero to arrive, and it will actually be Puppey on Techies. No surprise.
These picks went pretty fast, actually, toward the end. Oh, and Faded is going to be playing Tinker. Matoma and Visage.
Timbersaw against Techies? That's...
Okay, so Timber, it's pretty good lane against, even against Legion Commander. That's actually an even lane. See, Legion Commander is one of the only strength heroes that can stand up to Timber, and the reason is that she can purge off the minus strength from Whirling Death with Press the Attack. I believe this in the past. This lane was generally considered a draw largely, and you can also just skip the waves. That's something Legion could do as well if it's a one-on-one. So
And they're really being like, Puppey is just forever putting mid one on these more slightly unusual mids. It's well, we've had Pudges. Like, I think he's the second time doing Jakiro mid for TI.
yeah, or even the third time.
Is it the third?
It might even be the third time, but absolutely minimum once before this tournament they've put him mid. Yapzor's gonna play Kid Invoker. Yeah, this will be interesting. This will be a crazy game. No matter who wins,
cloudy.
no matter how they win, the game just looks super confusing already. And the logic behind Chaos's draft, it's a bit hard to see it because I feel like, again, maybe it's just something along the lines of what do you want to play? Like, what do you feel comfortable with in this game? Not specifically what is the direction our lineup is going, what are we trying to accomplish? They're kind of just picking some heroes that they feel like are okay in the game and that have good lanes, or I'm just missing something obvious here because picking Tinker into Techies, maybe they're thinking, okay, it's a Techies game, it's going to be super slow. We're going to get a fat Tinker and go late game. But then the rest of their lineup doesn't really play like that. Timber doesn't want to go super late, nor does Visage most of the time.
You will make a nice snow angel.
Just as a fun thing too, last time I saw Techies, it was FY, and he went Null Talisman to begin with. 5 tangos, 2 salves. This is all about suicide spamming to the offlane, just to win the offlane to begin with, and then he can head to the safe lane if he wants to. That's why Yapzor, for once, is not actually going with Zai, but a big smoke up from Chaos. They can turn over. They'll see Yapzor with a gush, as well as the Nova. They can slow down Yapzor enough that all those points in Quas will not help him survive. And first blood, once again, going the way of Chaos.
It's going to go to the Tinker, so he's the one who's going to have an advantage in the early game this game. Last game, it went to the Gyro of Matumba Man, who had a very good early stage as a result, so we'll see if...
Good observer to be planted. Nisha's going to walk right into the middle of Chaos as well. Right up the hill and into them. He can pounce, but that actually just leashes Millen together with him, and Matumba Man will then find this kill. That's the start they wanted.
Position 4 tied with Crystal Maiden. They're going to run into mana problems, but that's why Crystal Maiden's so good here. Getting the aura for both Visage and Tide is very nice.
So Yapzor gets the lane. Nisha's going to walk himself out. He's got a TP available, and Zai's... Okay, so they're actually switching it up. So Zai's coming to the bottom lane now. So he will end up working with Yapzor, and Nisha will have to run all the way north, where Puppey currently has a solo lane.
He wants to face the Timber. So he's waiting until he has the information, and now the Timber's showing bottom. Nisha starts running down there too.
Matumba, Millen, and CM are all headed towards the top lane. So Crystal Maiden reveals, and Zai and Nisha, yeah, there's the lane switch once again. And Puppey starting off the lane. This isn't exactly the target you want to be hitting the Crystal Maiden.
He got the wave as well.
Yeah. It's actually one of the easiest ways to farm as a support. Puppey may be dead. He's up way too far. Nova, Gush, and has no suicide to deny himself with, so he'll just go down inside the tree line. Yeah, but just as a side little thing as well for techies when you begin with, if you actually get one less set of tangos, you can get 2 gauntlets, which allows you to go for the early Soul Ring, and later on you're actually able to suicide the creep wave as a method of farming. So you go into Tranquil Boots, so Soul Ring Tranquil Boots instead of going for something like Arcane Boots. Top lane, Puppey's back with the lead forward. Misery will be blasted down. Zai, quick Fairy Fire, moves through the tree lines, but a Soul Assumption from Matumba Man also ready to go. Pew!
This is my analysis on the situation.
That 39 damage.
Yeah, this bottom lane is really good for Slark. And Invoker, too, actually, is good against Timbersaw, because this is a hero that's very mana dependent, and getting the Tornado EMPs off on Kezu just twice will drain his entire mana pool. And Slark will non-stop stealing the stacks. You've got to play so careful. Timber hates this matchup. It's really annoying.
Oh, Yapzor's going to find a nice little rune. 1 RK, maybe he can try and help out mid one. Who's, it's not too bad. 8-2 versus the Tinker of 7-2.
Now, Misery arrives at bottom to try to help out Kezu with this laning stage. It's got to be careful himself, though. Timber doesn't offer much in the way of protection for the Maiden, so if the CM gets jumped by Invoker and Slark, she could just end up dying. They're going to trade into Khezu a little bit for now, but he is level 3. So 2 in the reactive armor should keep him more than safe here. That's a very interesting EMP.
Need to have the Cold Snap to help set him up for that, or at least have the leash from Nisha ready to try and hold him there.
Now Nisha's level 3. That's very big. Having the extra duration on the Essence Shift is how you're going to eventually win this lane.
It's interesting to watch Puppey actually holding his mana on top. It's not something I was expecting him to do. It's a small little side camp where you're able to play this, which is having a mine right here and right here. It doesn't stop you from doing your pull, but it stops things like this happening with the Tidehunter because they can't de-ward it easily. And it stops all supports from playing the eastern side of this northern lane. But like normally it's just that like the sound alert is enough to get supports to move away. The Puppey's about to hit level 3, which means 2 points up in the blast off. Very scary for Crystal Maidens.
I think he's going to go 2 in mines or get a stasis trap on level 3, actually. Yeah, he went 2 in mines.
Wow, okay.
The build that I've lately been seeing in the highest bracket is you get Blast Off level 1 and then you don't skill it anymore. You max out the other 2 spells. I've seen some 4/4/1s. Maybe I've seen some 4/1/4s too, but... Oh, okay.
He's just suiciding himself off. See, this is the other way you could run it, where it's like, you know what, I'll just see you always go back to base because you got a low death time. So that way you don't actually need to go Tranquils and Soul Ring, but it always feels a little odd. He's just resupplying Zai. Oh, great Nova. Cancelling off the salve. It's actually one of the few games where it does actually make sense to go that kind of build with the earlier mines, because there's nothing to clear it. But he needs to get them down inside the trees, so like one here would be absolutely perfect. Yeah, well, it's a little bit further to the south, so we can't do the 2 together, but it's okay.
Yeah.
And not that I want to be judging Puppey. I'm not going to sit back. Actually, I should stop doing that. Like, I'm judging Puppey who's about to get a solo kill over on Millen. It's a level 1 blast off. And you can even do it on the creep wave too. That'll help it out. And just get the jump. Just faking it, pulling, wiggle. Still gets the kill. Even though you die, as long as you get the initial leap forward, you will get the rest of the blast off done.
Didn't get experience though. I think Zai wasn't in range to get the experience after that blast off. Yeah, Misery know exactly. He'll know exactly where this mine is, but he can't access it right now.
He's got to keep cutting trees to see it.
This is why I kind of like when people sometimes go 1-1-1, just because if you do place these mines out here with the stasis trap, you can guarantee to get some damage in. Against most good players early on, I think the second level in mines, it doubles the damage, but can you reliably get them to touch the mines? If you can't, you might be better off with the 1 point in the stasis.
Zai's in a lot of trouble. Puppey, he's going to jump in. Misery will be dead from this. Has nowhere near enough life to be able to survive. One more attack will do it. YapzOr arrives and Zai's still kicking. Puppey wants to stay on top of him. Millen smartly denying off the red mine, so no extra pop from this, but he jukes it in and around. But there's 3 heroes from Team Secret hanging around. Zai can't stay too close, because if he does, Millen will just gush him down. Oh, nice salve. He's using this Observer Ward perfectly and wasting so much time. This is a support Tidehunter who doesn't have a TP scroll available.
This is so
Eventually. He's back to full life. Hey, YapzOr's found him again. Meanwhile, down on bottom lane, Nisha, because this is wasting so much time, there's no support to protect Nisha. And they're still going on Millen. And now Puppey with the blast off. They have just enough damage and YapzOr will get the kill.
That's actually really big for Khezu. He's going to get level 6 while Slark is level 4 from this kill. And this swings the balance where Nisha can die down here. He has to be really careful. Could get... Oh, there's no Frostbite skilled. If Misery had a 1-1-2 build here, that could have been a dead Slark once again. Might still be, though.
Yeah, it looks like it will be. He can't pounce away. The creeps are actually killing off Misery because he ran a little too close and brought his creep wave with him, but it won't matter when Nisha dies. Looks like YapzOr's looking for his moment against the Tinker. Actually going for no points up in Missile. It's 4 points in March to the Machines. YapzOr, Cold Snap with the EMP burn. Tinker was already low. With the 4 points March, they still keep walking through it. Faded. He's got enough life, I think, to survive the Liquid Fire, so he'll be okay.
But it's going to hurt his tower a lot. He has to retreat into the jungle and then TP base after shrining.
Right. Zai forcing the issue against Millen. Puppey's ready with the blast off. That's not far enough. That's why you get Ether Lens, and Zai is like wondering where the rest of his team was. Millen will end up going down.
I don't know why that was so funny. It was so far from hitting.
He's like, I can play from the trees. Meanwhile, Matumba's, yeah, tier 1 tower gone up bottom lane. You're saying because Nisha can't defend it.
It ended up being a really big loss that YapzOr went top. I think that's probably the biggest mistake of the game so far, is that he left the Slark alone. They've really put him in a tough spot now for this game. He is sitting down bottom trying to get experience from range, and maybe they will try this kill on Matumba. Looks like it.
Yeah, Dual Breath out. They got extra help with mid 1. Hold him inside the macro pie with the leash. It only now just comes in. Maybe they can have a crack at some of these. No, they can't. They can't attack fast enough to kill the familiars, but that is a dead Matumba.
And now he's back in the game, right?
Yeah.
He needed this badly on Slark after being destroyed in lane because YapzOr left him. Timber got too strong. Together with the Maiden,
Watching
but now he gets to farm.
Puppey jungle with 45 damage. But this is the upside to mining. Soul Ring's up and running. KheZu, you can think about diving in, but yeah, there is that one value point in Stasis Trap from Puppey.
Yeah. The skill's really good.
I'd actually like to see Puppey do a little bit of prep. So this is something which you can do to protect your bounty runes. You put one red mine here, one red mine here, and here is where you throw the Stasis Trap. A little bit further up, so when someone walks up, the Stasis Trap triggers when you're in range of both the reds.
Yep.
But he's just doing defensive behind the towers where you're going to see KheZu play in the lane. Misery still hasn't skilled up Frostbite. The duel will begin. Puppey has time to blast off, and he's got him. Bonus damage. The red mine also triggers, and he's pulling him into the Stasis Trap. So KheZu, he can't move forward, and they'll actually get the kill to Puppey thanks to the red mine too.
Get ready.
Yes.
Nicely prepared there with the pre-placed Stasis Trap mine and hoping to get Timber to chase him. He got what he wanted.
That he did.
And now it's time for bounty runes. Puppey hasn't placed any mines for runes, so Chaos
He's
can
playing
probably-
pure lane.
Yep.
It's no zone control. It does make a lot of sense though, because like Chaos is not looking to move out of their lane. Like, they're just running down the lanes and behind the towers.
Bottom lane, Slark. This bottom rune. Oh, bad timing from Matumba. Didn't get the right
perfect
timing on the
stuns.
bird drop.
Mid one's being attacked up. The two supports having a crack at him, but now Zai and Puppey move over. Duel's already back off cooldown. Is it time for a leap? KheZu's coming in. The winner is going to be Zai. Mid one, low on life, giving the press the attack. Extra movement speed and ability to back off. EMP's about to come off cooldown. Oh, the chain. It misses from KheZu. Zai is chasing down Misery in the meantime. Puppey, he starts the wiggle, doesn't follow through. Rockets flying forward. Good tornado from YapzOr will kill the Crystal Maiden over on the fall as KheZu still just trying to battle against these 4 players of Team Secret, dropping Zai down. Tadada will return back to the fight. Doesn't have any... Actually, he's just short of level 6. If you can kill off the creep wave, you may actually have it for the Ravage to go for. And with the EMP burn, he won't have the mana for it anyway. The Macro Pie helps to burn down mid one. Great control that comes with the Cold Snap and all of the dot effects.
It's a really great teammate for Jakiro to have. The synergy with Invoker is very apparent, right? You can set each other up with Ice Path Tornado, the Cold Snap with all of Jakiro's damage over time. And he's a good kind of defensive support as well for Jakiro to have, because sometimes you can get on top of this Jakiro, and while the hero is relatively tanky in terms of strength, it has no mobility. But Invoker can offer that time to reset with a Tornado when they do jump on him. There's a remote. There's plenty of remotes ready up here.
Yeah, it's only 2 though, and then remember they're level 1s.
Yeah.
So it actually... Hang on.
Is it only 2, isn't it? 3? Oh, it's only 2.
Yeah, it's only 2 of them, and with level 1 greens, they do almost no damage, but they're worth putting down just because the change to the greens, where they're just worth the same as reds. They used to be a lot more expensive and pointless to throw at level 1. Mid lane, mid one, turns around, he's like, well, maybe I may as well take out this tower. EMP burn with the Macro Pie. Millen's having a hard time moving, but Faded from range can do the work. Yule Scepter up, I mean, not Yule Scepter up, Tornado up. From YapzOr, sends him down. And Zai wants to hit last hit in the tower. Misery will battle him for it, and Zai, well, he just times it perfectly, and Misery doesn't have enough damage to get the last hit in properly.
Actually, this combo of Legion Commander techies has been pretty fun to watch top. Legion Commander is one of those heroes that trades really well early on and gets heroes to like half HP. and they've been using blast off with that. But also they duel into placing mines for the kills. It's one of the disables that lasts long enough that techies can waddle up, put both a mine and a remote down.
It's actually amazing how fast you can do it. Like if you blast off and you're triggering the red mine position at the same time as you're in flight, the red mine almost instantly spawns. It's a real fast thing to do, and then you can go into your stasis trap for the extra control. I'm interested, like also if he goes for the -4 seconds on the proximity.
I've seen both builds. Most of the time, I want to say, lately, I've seen more proximity builds than I've seen XP. But it's not like a consistent thing where the absolute experts do one thing and others do something else. I've seen very high-level techies do both builds. So
if you're going carry techies, the 30% makes a lot of sense because you're looking to get to the 25 talent. You're looking for the plus.
Nobody goes carry techies because that doesn't work.
In some ways, it does.
It can work, but you're not picking this hero for it, and you're not planning.
No.
Generally, I mean, it can work in some, I guess, MMR ranges and games, but I think like every experience I've had with this hero, I have never seen anyone actually physical carry a game in the end.
That's the beautiful thing about heroes that don't get played a hell of a lot. You get to see new things. Mid one being initiated on by KheZu. Millen, he's going to get himself a 3-man Ravage, catching out the Legion Commander up high. That's why you couldn't break mid one free too quickly. But EMP in from the side, working with Nisha. Misery having a hard time walking this off. It's the Urn that's making it difficult to walk. But underneath the tower, under the cover of Martin Machines from Tinker, they've got a lot to work with. They actually have to almost get rid of these trees. They can see in there. Where's our techies? Low on life and running away. Tier 1 tower will fall. Visage doing what Visage does best, forcing Tier 1 towers.
Yep. They didn't have enough mines set up and ready to take this fight, and Chaos just take advantage of March of the Machines primarily there. It's really zone controlling nicely. So about this techies 25 thing. Theoretically, this talent is obviously amazing. 251 damage is kind of crazy on a ranged hero. And I'm not saying the build can't work, because it can. The problem is, in Dota right now, and as of late, games have a tendency to not reach that absurd amount of time. Even with techies in them, it's not that common, even in high-level pubs, that they go that hour and a half or whatever, where techies can start replacing items with damage items. Because it's not just that you get this damage talent. When you get that, you need to start getting attack speed, you need to start maybe getting crit, instead of your other items that give mana or cooldown reduction or whatnot. So most of the time, that build, the transition phase, takes really long.
You have to slow the game down if you're going to do that as a techie.
You have to slow it down a lot.
And that's the reason why you get the 4 seconds of the mines. Because this is something which, like, I want to see just how Puppey handles it. Because it was one of the things that Kuro did. Like, you mentioned it before, like what you do is you take over part of the map and then you put down the mines. The changes to the map that make these very narrow pathways means that you can actually do it with just 2 reds and a stasis trap. You control that entrance. And there's no real way to stop that. I think the problem, though, you have is the familiars. Like, if I remember correctly, they actually trigger the reds and the stasises. So keeping that kind of control doesn't really seem to work as well in this game. I'm trying to remember the mechanic correctly if it goes that way. YapzOr, mid one Puppey. Everyone's coming through the rear. They're going to catch Misery in the back lines. And he will not be able to survive this. Mid one from up on the high ground is able to get that kill. Zai trying to retreat back out again. Phase boots and press attack still not going to be enough. With a tornado, create a little bit of extra space. Mid one hits the door breath, but quickly blinks away. VT faded, and maybe even KheZu chaining up, looking for the kill over on mid one. He'll find Puppey instead. He'll end up silencing the Tinker. That really won't be enough, but it may buy some time for Nisha to have his own battle against Matoma. But Millen, oh, the Ravage! Wait, no effect on Nisha. He pounces away, and Nisha will still die in the tree lines because Tinker can chase him down.
He used the Ravage a little bit too early. Dark Pact was still running, so got purged off immediately.
Oh, nice catch. Mid one, TPing out right next to the Dire Observer board.
What's happening right now, to me, is the perfect showcase of Techies' biggest weakness. Is if you're not set up, the hero sucks. Like, it's just bad.
But it's a different way to set up. Like the fight ended up coming up the ramp, but you didn't put down an observe. You didn't put down like the red mine as well as the stasis trap.
You have to be in order to take these fights as secret. You kind of have to predict where Chaos's next move is, so that you can have pre-placed mines and take a fight around the area. Techie's contribution to teamfights in this stage of the game before he has many items and high levels, you can't just put a remote mine down in the fight and be like, I did a lot. That's what you can do later when you have Ags in level 18. But right now, his damage output is pretty insignificant, and his spells are hard to land and be useful with if they're not pre-placed. So you need to think ahead, you need to be ready, and force the fights to happen in a favorable spot for you, and that seems to be really difficult for Secret to prepare for, just because of the tempo that the Tinker and Visage put on these towers. They show up too fast. Just take the next and the next and the next.
Yeah, I'm a lot happy to actually see Puppey doing what he's doing, but like actually prepping up inside this tree line is something you do against the Tinker. But without kill packs, it's very problematic. Techies makes it space by getting these quick pops. And he's still doing a hell of a lot of damage to Mill, and he almost wanted to go for the blast off. Chaos do the right thing. They stay inside the lane, pushing down. Timber chain forward over on the Timber Saw. Puppey just going to deny himself out. And Chaos are not giving him the space to set up. Great Observer wards. We'll see anything being prepped on the northern side. So now they can move towards the top lane and just fight that out.
And what you do now as Chaos is you keep the tempo up. You've cornered, if you corner a Techies team and they don't get to get out on the map, it's really hard for Techies to have an impact in this stage of the game. If this was 30 minutes later and you control the map, Techies can still hold his high ground, but Puppey's not farmed or strong enough to really accept losing all his towers.
So the Courier was almost going to run over YapzOr, and it did run over Nisha. They leap forward with the call snap. Faded getting caught out. Nisha hunting well. You still have the old Techies trap that was prepped before. Able to actually get that kill. Puppey will die in the meantime, trying to get the dewarding done. But home in trouble. But no creep wave to work with. Backdoor protection. The creep wave was close enough at the time. But they're really beating into this tier 3 tower. 19 minutes in. Now, Nisha looking for the leash, looking to try and catch somebody up. He's taking so much damage to the Soul Assumption. Thanks to one charges, he'll end up surviving. But EMP Tornado going to work once more. The duel is over on the back lines, keeping the Tidehunter under control. They don't want to let Mill and Ravage, but he gets it off, hitting all of Team Secret down. Midone's trying to retreat back into the base. But two big cores down from Team Secret.
Oh, what a meme.
Another small thing you could do, which I'm actually liking the Puppey's doing, mines on the sides of the ramp. Means you can actually plant one in the middle, but it lets you do a perimeter with mine, and then you can put the stasis traps on the back ends. Basically means that no one can really jump in and force stuff around the sides, or play the edge of your base.
Yeah, I don't think Chaos have any plan or need to do this. They can send in Kezo in the front, put a sentry down, and he will tank everything.
Yep. Ice pass there. Tower's almost gone, but something with a drop down. Oh. And they actually just walk up and take out the mines. At tier 1 towers, days are numbered. 0. They just keep going and going and going and going.
Yeah, Secret are buying all the time that they can while Nisha's farming the map. They need to keep dropping down ice paths. Maybe they have to macro pyre soon to defend these barracks. Tornado EMP.
Yeah, it's coming off cooldown in a second, but the EMP's like, it was another 2 seconds. They really are trying to buy it this time. But the familiars are the things at the front lines, and like Faded, all he has to do is just keep beating back in. As long as that catapult's there, he's going to be the front line, so goodbye to your melee racks.
You didn't like the Tinker pick into Techies, but it's been working really well this game in just like raw farm, because Secret couldn't make an aggressive enough place to take over the map, so Tinker has just been farming like crazy. There's been no pressure stopping him at all, and yeah, if he gets caught in tree lines, in the roots and stuff, like which happened once, like you pointed out, the top trap that they set can catch him off, but it's under the condition that you have map control, that you can even set these traps, and they're just not... Secret are not getting a foothold in the game. They lost their towers and the map has just been choked out. And you can't aggress into a team that's leading against Techies like this because, well, it's kind of going to be a 4-on-5 fight at this point. So after the laning stage and what Chaos managed to accomplish with taking bottom and mid towers away, what's the play? What can you actually do on the map? Feels a little bit limited.
Dagon's up from Faded. He's looking for his own little battle. But yeah, I agree with you, man. Like it's just weird to see a Techies game where you don't actually have that map control, where Chaos they're not fearful to move forward. The Familiars are giving them the confidence because they're giving them the high ground vision to actually enter into the base.
Yep. They have tanky heroes, and they won their lanes. And therefore they can just force their way through.
Yeah. These type of traps work beautifully because they're able to catch out the the Tinker, but you also want to have it down here in the tree lines. It's just Puppey doesn't have the time. Because yeah, this exact happens, like almost in the box. Faded just jumps in. And what do you now do? Those green mines are only level 1. They don't do anywhere near enough damage to really dissuade Chaos from continuously pushing in. And Nisha can't go underneath the March of the Machines. There's too many waves of them as well. Ravage is already up. The tier 3 tower will be picked apart. And into the melee racks they go. Nisha, actually Zai with the jump in towards Batumban. The Lotus Orb actually reflected back Batumban. Oh, you've already got the kill out. Zai falls down. It's a good ice path with the Macro Pyre and Tornado. KheZu's having a hard time getting away from this one. At mid one, he just can't stand here. They at least got the rebuttal kill, so Batumban does fall down. Nisha playing the back lines. Needs to get up the hill and away. Puppey, that's an interesting jump. Silences the Crystal Maiden, but easily killed off by the Chakra of KheZu. It's a nice ice path, allowing Nisha to come back in once more. Looking for another kill. The Familiar Birds are looking for him, but needs to regen for a moment before then he can battle into KheZu. As Millen continues his own run away. A quick force up. Low on life, the Liquid Fire will tick him down. As KheZu is the sole survivor of Chaos. They keep that bottom lane of Rax alive. The mid lane's pushing him pretty far as Team Secret want to keep the chase going. KheZu, he's got enough mana to chain himself back behind the tier 1 tower. And YapzOr, Tornado will cancel the TP with the EMP combination. And another duel is out. KheZu, he has good reactive armor charges. The damage output won't be enough to get through him, not during the duel duration, but it will still get through him. And they'll take the tier 1 tower while they're here.
All right. This time Puppey had more mines set up. And they used 3 buybacks, so they won the fight flat out on numbers. They were losing this fight for sure if it was anywhere else than their base, but with this number of buybacks, it's doable. That was kind of an 8v5 that they ended up winning. They used 3 buybacks, right, and 0 on the enemy team.
Yeah, Jakiro, Legion, and Techies all bought back.
But it's worth it because of how far behind they are.
Look at Nisha instantly back into the fight. He's still got so much essence shifted that he wants to keep these fights going. Mines being popped out, Courier's flying over the top. This is an absolute debacle of a fight, but Millen will go down in the mid as Batumban split shotting out. Soul Assumption on the 2 hits gives him so much damage. Nisha jumping himself away from Misery. Zai's in pretty deep with no way to really escape from this. Observers and sentries being placed down, but Nisha just back out, grab the runes. But those diebacks are going to hurt because they're dead for over a minute.
I thought Zai might duel the Maiden there to stop the freezing field, but Slark didn't have anything to work with. Ulti on cooldown, low health, and they couldn't really have committed and got anything out of it.
Like YapzOr underneath Observer and Sentry. He threw out his own Sentry so he could have some information. Nisha will pounce away. Hilariously enough, like Chaos, the line was drawn instantly from Misery. Go down mid, rotate to the bottom lane. Take out this second lane of Rax.
Yep, they know there's 2 heroes without buyback on cores. Slark has a good amount of stacks, so when his BKB is ready, this might be defendable with a buyback from Invoker on the melee racks. We'll see if they try to do exactly that. They have Glyph.
Yeah, I think they let this one go. Without the 2 big cores.
Yeah, they're not trying.
No. Well, Fortify to buy a little bit of time.
Maybe?
Well, they don't have a creep wave.
Wait, so what was the plan there? Now they don't have Glyph for the top side. Huh.
All right, let's not question the plan.
Okay. Puppey's close to Ags. That is a game-changing item for Techies. They can play for the last lane, where they can just keep putting mines with the minefield sign. Obviously, it has a 50% downtime, so you need to make the most of it and get a really good fight out of it the first time you have it. We'll be fighting
But
against Aegis too.
Chaos are really smart about this. Like the things that Techies hates more than anything else are like heroes like Wraith King who could just reincarnate after they cop the brunt of the mines. But having the Aegis as Immortal, even worse for Techies to lose. And they have no information. Normally you drop like a keg in there so you can watch Roshan. Because they're also very useful as like orbs. But Matumba, the one who's already really difficult to kill now, has the Aegis the Immortal.
YapzOr and Nisha are playing in the enemy jungle. They're waiting for somebody to walk into them so they can get a pick, but the heroes are actually nearby from Chaos, and this could end up backfiring.
Zai, frostbitten up. He's already used to press the attack. Tinker's TPing in, and goodbye, Zai. Dagon from Faded finishes the job, his 9th kill of the game. And Techies may have that Aghanim Scepter, but there are no green mines set up, and if Chaos want to end this, they just go straight down mid. There is no prep whatsoever here. And Team Secret just don't have the cause to try and fight this one. Even trying to get an Aghanim Scepter over on mid one. But that won't finish in time. Okay, yeah, well, he'll actually sell items to do it. So YapzOr Tornado is only going to catch out Familiars. They won't care.
Slog in behind.
Yep, going straight after Misery. Quickly, Dagon low on life. Great Ice Path. Just trying to hold him there in position. The longer this fight goes, the better it is for Nisha. Moving from target, but then again, Nisha just got evaporated by Faded and Kezu.
He didn't BKB. He didn't think he was going to get blown up, but that Dagon. They have buyback on Slark, though, but he lost his stacks.
Look at him go. Chaos, they know how to win this game. Get in there. Never give him setup time. Take out the tier 4 towers. And take a victory against Team Secret. Zai, the Ravage from Melon is perfect. Allowing him the Anchor Smash kill to catch Zai out. Tinker's doing all the range damage and prep for him. But the tier 4 towers are lost. Timbersaw, still not. Well, he's got a lot of reactive armor charges. EMP will burn, losing a lot of mana. Nisha has already committed the BKB. He's trying to get rid of these Familiars, but he can't even stay on top of them. Another Ice Path out. Maybe one Techie's Mind in the back might be able to do a lot of damage to Misery, but again, they can't get the kills. Another Tornado up. They'll hit the deck. That's not enough. Still only level 2s. And this Ancient is going down. Little to nothing they can do. Puppey can jump himself to the back line if he wants to kill Misery. Actually gets Cold Snap and Spirit Vessel and Sunstrike. YapzOr will try to do it himself as a level 1. Nisha will jump in and finish the job. But Chaos, they're doing the work. They're going to take the Radiant Ancient unless there's some kind of defense. Faded, he's low on life. They actually finally get the lockdown with the duel out. Zai will get the kill, but the Ancient's already gone. 29 minutes, Chaos will take it.